Welcome to Women Wednesday, brought to you by Trivesta. I'm Sonja Lowe. Today we are joined by our very own founder and CEO, Mr. Joseph Cherry. Mr. Cherry has over 25 years of experience in the banking and finance industry, and he's here to answer the questions, ladies, you have been asking about our product, Prospio. Thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure, Sonja.
Can you kind of tell us what the purpose of Prospio is?
The purpose of Prospio is to put, for the first time, in the hands of the American people, the world's most advanced financial management system that will help them understand the payments that they're making, the interest associated with those payments, and how to pay that interest to yourself to eliminate debt and live the American dream.
Awesome. Well, what makes Prospio different than the normal debt roll down, debt elimination products that are out there on the market today?
There is no other product like Prospio. What Prospio does is it does not focus on debt elimination. Debt elimination is a mind frame that America is in. We see it in the news, we see it on the internet, we see it on the billboard, we get phone calls about it, and it really is a mind frame. If you're focused on debt, you're missing the game. The game really is the building of wealth. If you understand how to build wealth, building wealth means that debt disappears. So what Prospio does is it educates the users on how interest is accumulated, the timing of their payments. It will have you rethink everything from beginning to end on when you make those payments, what you should apply those payments to, and pay the interest to yourself. And if you're paying the interest to yourself instead of the finance companies and the mortgage companies and the banks, then you become the mortgage company, the finance company, or the bank, because you're paying the interest to yourself and building wealth. Debt just disappears. It's really an entire different mind frame, a way of getting America to think about the life that they're living so they can start living the American dream. The American dream was never to continue to pay on my home the rest of my life. The American dream was someday I'd like to own my home.
So true.
And retire in style.
That is great information. Thank you.
Sure.
What do I need to allow this program to work effectively?
All that is required to use Prospio is you must have a checking account, you must have a savings account, so we challenge you to open that savings account, and you must have $1 more in income than you have in debt. If you are upside down, if you're not making enough to pay the bills that you have, there's no program in the world that can help you. You need to cut back on the spending. But as long as you have $1 more than you make, Prospio is the program for you.
That is awesome. Now, are the user required to pay any more money out of pocket than they're paying already?
The only additional monies that would be paid out of pocket is obviously to be a member of the Trivesta program, which for the Prospio only is $69.95 a month, and for the full membership is $99.95 a month. But that is not really an extra expense, because we know if you're using the program, the savings that you are creating for yourself in the services that are provided by Trivesta and the interest that you're eliminating, that you're paying to the banks and the mortgage companies and those finance companies that we just discussed, and you're paying to yourself, is more than the $69 or $99, vastly more than the $69 or $99 that you're paying to become a member of the Trivesta program.
That's awesome. And then also, how do I learn how to maximize the benefit of Prospio? What are the banks not telling me?
You know, I'm going to use an example here. It's a question we get all the time, that what is it that Prospio is really doing when you're talking about helping me eliminate interest? The most common example I could give is on a mortgage. A mortgage is done on an amortization schedule. Anybody who's bought a home understands that at the time you're sitting at the table at closing, they're going to show you what your payments are for 30 years, to the penny. They must disclose it. It's the law. So you're going to see the payments that you make, and as long as you make those payments on time, every month for 30 years, you'll know the exact day today. If you bought a home today, the exact day 30 years from now, you'll own your home. But the perception of the people buying the home is, I closed my loan today at a 4.5% interest rate. I got a great rate. When in fact, that is a great rate. If you plan on paying your payments every month on time for 12 months in a row every year for 30 years consistently, because it's an amortization schedule, this is really how it works. the majority of the interest that you're paying is paid up front to the banks that are financing that for you and the mortgage companies. So if you're only in your home every 5.5 years, which is the American average right now, you know, our grandparents and our great-grandparents, when they bought a home, they might have lived in their home 30 years. It was a different time. You didn't have the internet. If you were looking for a new job was in your same community within driving distance, where now if you're looking for a new job, you can open the internet and find a job halfway across the world at the touch of a button. So we're a very transitional society right now. So America moves every 5.5 years. What does that mean? That means if you are moving every 5.5 years, that you're paying 90% interest on average on your home. You're not paying 4.5 because the bulk of your payments is going towards interest, not principal. It's not till year 20 where the bulk of your payments that you're making goes towards principal and less is going towards interest. And America doesn't understand that. They perceive that 4.5% is a great rate. It is a great rate if you're going to live there for 30 years and make every payment on time.
That's great information. Well, also, I know that you great example for your mortgage, but what other loans does Prospio really help you with?
Oh, it helps with every type of loan or debt that you may have. Maybe it's back child support you're paying interest on. Maybe you owe the IRS some money. You have student loans. I know a lot of people, the second biggest debt that they have other than their mortgage is their student loan. Automobiles. How about one of the biggest impacts to American lives right now when we don't have the money? We have the money because we use a credit card. It even works on those credit cards. So it'll literally work on any type of debt that you have that is accumulating in some way interest.
Amazing. Valuable, valuable information, ladies. I'm just excited about it so that you understand. We've got a question that says, it's too good to be true. Can you answer that?
Sure, I get that all the time. When people say it's too good to be true, it's just because it is outside the norm of what they're used to, of what they're comfortable with. I'm going to give you an example. 20 years ago, I remember You've Got Mail, AOL.com. It was unfathomable for people to think, and they were scared of actually going online and sending messages online because it wasn't something they were used to. What we were used to is writing letters, putting a stamp on it, and putting it in the mail, right? So look where we are today. How many people actually put a stamp on an envelope and put it in the mail? Hardly any. Everything is done through some type of electronic device or sending a message or an email. And really, the reason that somebody is saying is it's too good to be true is it's outside of the normal what they're used to. But it really comes down to its math. I have a saying that I always say, you know this, Sonja, and people out there that may not have heard me say it, my saying is this: it's just math. Math does not lie. All that Prospio does is it takes the same algorithms that the banks and the Federal Reserve and the mortgage companies and the interest companies use, and it puts it into a program and makes those algorithms available to you, the American family now, where it was never available in your hands, so that it knows the exact best timing of how to use your dollars. For instance, at the end of the month, after all of your bills are paid and you have a couple of $100 left, if you're looking to get out of debt, you're going to have to take that couple of $100 and apply it somewhere. And you asked a question earlier about traditional debt roll-down programs. They would have you take that extra $200 or $300 and apply it to the highest interest debt. True. The Visa, the MasterCard, the Discover, etc. Where what Prospio does, because it understands you have those dollars left, it uses the algorithms, and in effect, it may not be the best solution is to put it towards a Visa. The best solution may be to put it towards the mortgage or to put it towards the automobile. It's something you can never calculate on your own. There's too many algorithms in instances and too many different criteria that go into understanding what's the best way to use that dollar that are programmed into Prospio. It will give you the best answer every time, guaranteed. And now there's no question in your mind of where to put that money. Where you're putting that money is the best way to eliminate interest, which means if you're not paying the interest to the bank, you're paying it to yourself, you're building wealth, you're eliminating debt. It means the American dream isn't far behind.
That is so true. It's a total GPS system.
It is. It's literally, if you have a change and the system tells you to pay a bill, and for some reason something happens, you can't pay the bill according to the way the system tells you to pay it. All it's going to do is it's going to recalculate based off of what you did do and tell you, well, because you didn't do that, the fastest way to build wealth and eliminate debt and live the American dream is now this way. So it recalculates in seconds, and you're always pointed toward the fastest way to build wealth. And building wealth means debt disappears.
That is so awesome. Well, I also know here at Trivesta we have a 100% money back guarantee, and it says something about 6 months. Can you explain that?
Sure. The reason for the 6 months is this. In order to experience Prospio, you have to give it a little bit of time. It's kind of like a get-out-of-weight program.
Right.
You know, because I buy an entire package today from some of the multiple companies that are out there. I know we use Advocare in my home, right? And if you're taking that debt elimination program, a 21-day or 24-day challenge, it takes 24 days to see the results. You can't take the pill the first day and say, why didn't I lose 5 pounds, or why don't I have more energy? Prospio is the same way. Prospio is you're going to put all of your information in, which will take about an hour. And it's going to begin on the first month and all the way up to the 6th month. And it continues after that. It's for forever as you're using the program. But what we know, what has been tested, tried, and verified, has been audited, and you'll see that on our website, audited results, is if you use that program for 6 months, we guarantee you that the cost that you paid to be associated with the Trivesta program and get access to Prospio, which is about $800 over 6 months if you become a full member, and then have access to the medical and the identity theft and the college scholarship and everything else, all the amazing products that Trivesta brings to the table. That $800, we guarantee that you're going to save twice that, or we'll give you 100% of your money back. We've never had to write a check, Sonja, and it's been over 4.5 years of people using the program, seeing the results, and it's changing their lives. We know it's going to work because, again, it's just math. Math does not lie. If you do what the program says, you will experience the results. 2 + 2 in any language, any religion, any sex, any culture, anywhere in the world, if you send an email out today to 1 million people worldwide, the answer for 2 + 2 should come back as 4. Right. It's math. That's the way Prospio works.
That's awesome. So in our reality, we have nothing to lose.
Have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Trivesta is an opportunity that every American should experience. It's an opportunity to truly understand how money works. How do the banks and the investment companies build the buildings that they build in every major city? On every corner. I can't drive a mile without driving past 4, 5, 6 branches of banks. They don't sell anything. They don't create anything. So where are they making their money? They're making their money off of the fact that we're paying them interest. And then they're taking that interest and making interest on interest. That's building wealth. That's how the top 2% of the wealthiest families in the world build wealth. Now that information is in a program called Prospio, and it's in your hands.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cherry. Just thank you. I'm so grateful. Ladies, this is amazing that he has been willing to share and answer all the questions that you have had. And I want you to make sure you call family, friends, and you share this valuable information with them. And ladies, I also want you to join us next week. Come back next week and join us as we talk about the benefits of becoming a Trivesta advocate, how you can earn full-time income with part-time effort, all from home. And ladies, remember, don't just live your dream. See you next week.